I thought last night was weird. Now, you had, and again, a truncated convention, and you had all the governors out. John Kasich came out there, and the problem the Republicans have is that they have no message. It is all over the place. They have a popular president. They have a crappy candidate. And it really did feel like everyone in this for themselves tonight. Kasich was like, he tried to extend the idea, but this was all about his reelection, it seemed to me. Look, remember who's watching last night? Me, two other people who I was tweeting to. No, basically the people that are watching last night are the bases of both parties, probably. The political junkies, and then I would say also the extended base of the Republican Party. And then, of course, the media. And so the idea of like how much did this sway undecided voters, blah, 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 that's not relevant. The question is what's the takeaway the media gets from last night? Like, what is their perception? Because they're the ones who are going to start to shape the narrative going forward. We know that they have a bias towards making this sort of a competitive race, and it's a he said, she said thing. What is the base of the Republican Party, and what is the base of the Democratic Party hearing that will impact what they do in an election? Now, from the base of the Democratic Party, I don't think this was not like 1993 when Pat Buchanan got up there. There was nothing from last night that is going to sort of carry out and be this sort of all-encompassing, all-defining narrative. They came out and they said basically, single women are harlots. That didn't happen. Todd Aiken was not allowed to get up there and go, look, what I meant to say was not that some rapes are legitimate and others aren't. It's just that that God doesn't allow real rape to end in pregnancy. I mean, that's just the way that God, there was none of that. So from the Democratic base perspective, not so much in play. From the media perspective, well, let me just start with this. From the Republican base perspective, there was nothing that they could have gotten from last night, I think, that could have made them more energized about Mitt Romney. I don't think there was anything there. They may have stopped, to the extent that there was any, they may have stopped the hemorrhaging of women who were in the Republican base from exiting the Republican base for this election. Possibly. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. Where Ann Romney said, basically what she said was like, Mitt took me to that first dance in high school and was a perfect gentleman in taking me home. In the same way I could trust him from getting me home for that dance, you can trust him. What basically I think she was saying is like, he's not a rapist. He's not the type of guy who's going to not be a perfect gentleman. Now, of course, once you marry him, you're his chattel, but we all agree with that anyways. But you can trust him to make sure that he builds a nice pen for you, that, that's what basically Ann is saying. Like, I loved him and I was willing to leave my father's domain and move into Mitt's. And then he just took care of me. And look how wealthy we are. That was the message. And I think that's a good message for the women in the Republican base. I think that says, okay, I can trust Mitt. He may be a bit of a drip, but at least he's a perfect gentleman. And that's the important thing. But you know what? if that's what you want to, if that's what you need to accomplish with your convention, you got a real problem.